just wonder while people are reading, somebody might manage to do the art bit. Yes.
Oh yes, a nightclub. I'd like to go in there, but I find it's not very easy in my wheelchair. I'm on crutches, so I have a problem with stairs. Broken lifts not repaired. Is it that no one cares? On guided walks and tours they go so quick. It's very difficult to keep up with a walking stick. Crown Green Bowling, oh, I'd love a game, but how could I manage with my walking frame? I hear the sound of birds, but can't see them in flight. Why? Because I was born without the sense of sight. Could you please tell me if the marching bands are near? I'll be able to see them, but I'm afraid I can't hear.
The first time I ever heard about the Arts Exchange was when I got a phone call one day from this lady called Alison, and she introduced herself that she was running Arts Exchange, which was a project for disabled adults in the HPCA area. Could she come round and see me? Now, I didn't know what to say because I'd never done any artwork of any sort or description. I thought, well, why not? So I said yes. So she said she'd come and see me the following day. Got a knock at the door the following day, and there was this young lady stood there with a great folder in her arms, nearly as big as her. And she said she was Alison, so I said, come in. So I sat there and she started going through this folder and showing me all these things that different people had done, you know, and there was silk painting and pictures that people had painted, which, well, I couldn't do anyway. I'd never been able to paint in my life. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And she said there was a photography project coming up, would I like to do that? Which included work in the darkroom, developing and printing the photographs. So I said I'd love to have a try at that because I like taking photographs anyway. So that's how I started off on that project to start with. And then it just went from one thing to another, and I really enjoyed it because, I mean, before that I never went out at all. I was stuck in. Because after I had my stroke I can't walk, and so I couldn't go anywhere on my own.
If John sits in a chair and you borrow John's
motorised, sit in a chair.
Yes. Then you could. I mean, but what you're actually talking about is a more of a mobility scooter thing, isn't it? But it doesn't really matter. But what we do need to show is that you're not actually stuck in or out of your house. It's not like you can walk with a stick, but you've got this to get around more easily. So maybe the first scene is should be some sort of pleasure of having got.
I suppose it started when I had my accident. I fell off a lorry at work and damaged my arm, so I couldn't. I paint, and I couldn't paint with my left arm anymore. So I got quite depressed and I never went out. And apparently it was 4 years before I actually got out. And the only reason I got out is because Alison from HPCA Arts came. I don't know who sent her. I think it was social services. And she came and she sat next to me and opened this book and told me what sort of projects they did at HPCA Arts. And when I looked at the book, I thought, oh God, she's going to have me cutting bits of paper up and bits of cloth. But I couldn't have been more wrong. I went on a photography course and I loved it so much that they let me have another course. And it gave me a new thinking about my art and a different approach through photography. And ever since then, it's just gone better and better and bigger and bigger. And I've done various projects up and down the High Peak and I've enjoyed it, and so has other people who've been involved with it. So I can only say thanks to HPCA Arts, and I hope it never folds up. Thank you.
I don't know what these are.
Anyway, would you like to have a seat? Or?
Well, they're pencils. I'll go and get some out of my bag.
Yeah, there's one at two.
What is that?
I can remember the first class I ever went into. It was silk painting. I kept looking at it like a 2-year-old, and it changed the way I thought about things. It was really great, and it was the only place that I've ever been into with people who were like myself, that I didn't feel disabled. I felt just like another person within the classes, and I was learning things. I had a value, and I was out of 4 walls. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing ever. And the tutors just wanted everyone to succeed. And in our own way, we did succeed, and we have things that we can do on a daily basis. The classes and the tutors and everyone involved with what we're doing really care about disabled people. The disabled goes out of it. They don't think about you being disabled at all. I saw people in my classes get well from huge strokes where they couldn't speak or couldn't move their arms. I saw them create pieces of artwork which were really amazing, and they were actually put into art exhibitions and things. I remember having to speak once with a minister about this, and he thought it was an amazing thing. I can't speak highly enough of what I've done. I will always, always be grateful for the things that I've had. My very favourite, before I finish, was embroidery class. I love it, and I sit doing it all the time. I'd just like to thank everyone involved.
No, it isn't. No, shut up.
No, I think that's right.
It's
The
right.
little dented bit at the front. Yeah, yes.
Can we have it with Pepper Lucky?
Mario. Do you want to be Mario?
And he owns a restaurant.
Ah, Mario, you own a restaurant.
See.
And he thinks quite a lot of himself. He thinks he's very smart.
Well, my problem started 7 years ago yesterday, because that's when I lost my wife. And I just became a recluse, stopping in the house, getting very down and everything. And then, I don't know how it really came about, but the doorbell rang and there was a young lady stood there, introduced herself as Alison. And the next thing I knew, I was down here at New Mills, learning computers. And I didn't even know how to switch one on. But I met a young lady called Lisa, and she was absolutely fantastic. And it just sort of exploded from there. I got involved in publishing magazines and doing ceramics and metalwork and oh, goodness knows what else. It got me away from them 4 walls, and it was like I got a new life again. I do still. Somehow, in the middle of it all, and I don't know what kicked it off, but I started writing poetry about every subject you could sort of think of. If somebody sort of gave me a subject, it were no problem. And I went back, I thought about my childhood when I lived in Chinley, and my mum were very strict. Sorry. And I wrote a poem about that, and I'll just read it out for you now. I asked my mum if I could go out to play, but no, it was in the backyard I had to stay. Then she caught me going over the wall. I tried to tell her I were only going for me ball. You could see it were only going to end in tears. Shut in coal house, one of my biggest fears. She doesn't seem to know what it's like in there. There's creepy crawlers and spiders that get in your hair. I thought as I would just try one last screaming shout. That were a mistake, door opened and I got another clout. I know last time I were out I said I'd not go far, and it weren't my fault I came home in a police car. I was sent to bed without food or drink, and all because of what the neighbours might think.